Dr. Paul Carter is with us. He's the CEO of Global Wireless Solutions. And Dr. Carter, really appreciate your time. Tell us a little bit about how we were really concentrated on 5G kind of before the pandemic hit. Is there anything that COVID-19 has done to delay the rollout of this highly anticipated service?
Good morning, John. Nice to meet you. Actually, I don't think COVID has impacted the rollout at all. Matter of fact, and I think in many ways it's made people realize the importance of 5G even more, and the fact that while we've been sheltering in place and while we've been reliant on our existing communications, and they've done a terrific job through this whole process. I think that people are recognizing that they would like to be able to do more in the future from home and from remote working. And so 5G is an enabler for that. And so the good news is that the progress has continued in terms of deploying 5G networks across the U.S. and the rest of the world. And a matter of fact, each day we sort of hear more markets are being turned on with 5G capabilities.
And how do you see 5G impacting working from home and working remotely? I just even think about, a national commercial I saw where, I'm sure it's an anecdotal type situation, but they're like, look, 4G is faster than 5G, but we've certainly heard the opposite eventually. How is 5G really going to impact our lives?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, the thing is that 5G deployment is just at the beginning, really, for us. If we look back at over the last few decades, we've really migrated from the first generation of wireless, which was just analog voice, to the second generation, which was digital voice. Then the third generation of wireless was adding data capabilities, and the fourth generation that we currently have allows us to do the things on the smartphone that we're familiar with every day. But each of those transitions has taken roughly 10 years, and they, as the migration occurred, it would take time to roll out the new technology, and that's kind of where we are a little bit with 5G. 5G initially has been deployed, in conjunction with 4G, and so there isn't standalone 5G available today. And it will take the next few years until such time that we have full 5G capabilities. And obviously, the more of the existing spectrum that's migrated over to 5G, the more of the 5G capabilities we'll experience. The higher data rates, the lower latency, the improved reliability, the improved capacity. All of those things that will basically be a step change for us in the years to come. In terms of working from home, today there's so much that we can do working from home with our, from both a voice and data perspective. But imagine if you were an engineer working on a remote pipeline, and you had virtual reality, and you had haptics, and you could just put your headset on, and you could basically see the pipeline remotely, hundreds of thousands of miles away, and you could start to perform some sort of mechanical operation on that pipeline. Or is it the same with doctors? I mean, already through the COVID crisis, the telehealth percentage has jumped, around the world, and people are now, holding sessions with the doctors remotely by video. But imagine if you were the doctor, that you could actually perform the surgery because of your headset, that you're working remotely, and you could, because of real-time communication and speeds, you could do that. 5G promises to bring that to us all.
It's very interesting. And finally, can't even believe we have to bring this up, but there have been, conspiracy theories about 5G being related to COVID-19. Do you know how that got even started? And can you, as an expert for us, just dispel that myth, I guess?
Yeah, well, it's hard to know exactly where it started, but I think the fact that, we're in the early stages of 5G deployment, and obviously COVID came about roughly the same sort of time. I think people started to put, one and one together and got more than two. And, I think also the fact that that social media is so prevalent these days that it's very easy in the absence of facts to spread information. And I think also the fact that one of the 5G infrastructure providers is Huawei, and there's been a lot of chatter about Huawei and security and Huawei being Chinese and COVID being sourced in China. I think again people started to put a few ideas together that weren't really right. I think the fact is that the 5G that's been deployed is in the US today. It uses various different frequencies. They call it low band, mid band, and upper band. The 5G lower band that's been deployed by folks like AT&T and T-Mobile, those are using the same frequencies that they've been using for years, in the lower band. So to the degree that people haven't had any issues over the last 45 years or whatever of wireless networks, they're not going to have any more issues going forward.
That makes total sense. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it, and it was great talking to you.
Likewise, very nice talking to you. Thank you very much.